Hi, this is Kestrel from Ink Me This. I thought I'd show you the difference between a standard rubber self-inking stamp and the stamps that we currently make at Ink Me This. So first of all, this is a stamp that we made a few years ago when we first started making stamps. We were using the parts from Ideal, Trodat, which is a good company for sure. And we were creating stamps with our laser engraver using rubber. So it's a typical rubber stamp. You can see that the impression, the text plate, is on a platform that flips over as the stamp closes and rests on an ink pad that's on the inside of the mechanism. As you push the stamp down, it flips back over again and hits the paper to smack it with ink. So there is ink on the rubber surrounding the actual text, but that rubber shouldn't come into contact with the paper. Shouldn't. Sometimes it will and create a smudge. So there's your just typical self-inking rubber stamp. Many stamp makers use Ideal parts. Again, they are a good company. So now we use a different technology, different materials. Instead of laser engraving rubber, which isn't the greatest for the environment either, to burn rubber, we're using a microporous material that actually is just sealed using UV light. So we create this impression by sealing the material in all of the areas that we don't want ink to come through. Instead of the text plate flipping over and getting ink on top of it, the ink actually soaks through from behind, only where we've left the material unsealed. So you can see that it's a little raised in certain parts. You can see the writing. That's the only place that the ink will soak through. All the rest of this area is sealed. I can touch it and no ink is coming through there. So now with this technology, we're actually able to create a much crisper impression, finer lines, smaller text, more detail. With rubber, you can't make the lines too thin or the rubber loses its integrity and will become too flimsy, and when it's pressed against the paper kind of bends and just doesn't hold up as well. So with rubber stamps, you can't make the writing too terribly small, you can't make the lines too fine and delicate, or you're compromising the integrity of the rubber itself for the stamp. We don't have to worry about that. We can make pretty fine lines, very small text, more detail, just a more elegant look to the stamp, whether it's an address or a business card, a logo, or a save the date DIY project. So there you have it, the difference between a standard self-inking stamp made with rubber or a Ink Me This stamp made with a microporous material.